"Take a nice walk," my husband James called out mockingly from the driver's seat, his family joining in laughter. I stood in stunned silence, one hand resting on my 8-month pregnant belly, as their luxury SUV pulled away from the remote gas station. The relentless Florida sun scorched my skin while I watched their taillights disappear toward their beach resort getaway without me. My name is Kayla Thompson, and up until that moment, I thought I understood betrayal. But being left behind heavily pregnant at a gas station in the middle of nowhere by the man I had been married to for 3 years, that introduced me to a new depth of cruelty. His mother Diana and sister Ashley sat smugly in the back seat, and I could still see their gleeful faces as the car sped off. It had seemed like a routine pit stop during our trip to Daytona Beach. I had asked James to wait while I used the restroom, given how difficult walking had become in my 3rd trimester. But when I came out, I spotted them through the windows, laughing and pointing at me. Before I could reach the SUV, they drove off, abandoning me in the blistering heat. The gas station's owner, Tom, an older man with a kind demeanor, saw everything unfold. He immediately ushered me into the cool interior of the shop and handed me a cold drink. "We have cameras covering the entire lot," he said, his voice thick with disapproval. What they did isn't right. Inside his modest office, I sat trembling, trying to process what had just occurred. My purse, phone, and all my belongings were in that SUV. I was literally stranded with nothing but the sundress I had on. Tom's wife, Barbara, who co-managed the store, brought me crackers and more water. "I'm calling the local news," Barbara announced, cheeks flushed with righteous fury. "People need to see this. What kind of man leaves his pregnant wife behind while his family laughs?" Rather than stop her, I found an unexpected calm settling over me. Let them call the news. Let the world see what kind of man James Wilson really was. As I placed my hand on my belly and felt my baby girl kick, I realized it wasn't just about me anymore. I had to protect my daughter from a family that found cruelty amusing. Looking back, there had been signs. When we met 3 years ago at a charity gala, James seemed different from his elitist family, warmer, more authentic. He was an executive at Florida Values Insurance, a company built on traditional family principles. While I taught kindergarten and adored my students, we married quickly, despite his family's thinly veiled disapproval. Diana, my mother-in-law, headed the Wilson Family Foundation in Jacksonville, known for its high society charity events. She constantly reminded me that I didn't quite fit in. "It's adorable that you work with children," she'd say, her voice sweet but patronizing. Though I did hope James would settle down with someone more accomplished. Ashley, his sister, was even more malicious. She set up social traps meant to humiliate me, like inviting me to what she called a casual lunch that turned out to be a formal charity board meeting. I had arrived in a simple sundress, mortified, among women in designer suits. "Oops," she said with a sly grin. "Must have forgotten to mention the dress code." James used to defend me, at least at first, but once I got pregnant, he changed. He echoed his mother's judgments, laughed at his sister's digs, and began treating me like a burden. Tom's voice pulled me back to the present. "The news. Crew will be here in about an hour," he told me, eyes on his phone. I've got the footage ready. It shows everything. Barbara passed me another water. You're trembling, sweetheart. When was your last meal? I couldn't remember. We were supposed to be enjoying one last vacation before the baby arrived. James had insisted his family come along, saying it would help us bond. I should have seen the red flags when he made me sit in the back so his mother could take the front seat. He claimed it was due to her motion sickness, but they had whispered and giggled the whole way. Barbara's eyes darkened. They won't be laughing when people see what they did. My nephew works for Channel 7. This won't stay quiet. While waiting for the reporters, I used Tom's landline to call my best friend, Nicole. She had never liked James or his family, especially after what happened at my baby shower. Kayla, thank God you're okay, Nicole exclaimed. You need to see what they're posting. Tom turned his monitor toward me, logging into Facebook. James had posted new photos just 20 minutes ago. Him, Diana, and Ashley lounging at the resort. Pool, drinks in hand, smiling. The caption read, "Finally free for a relaxing family vacation." Some people just can't handle the Wilson lifestyle. Hashtag beach life, hashtag family first. More comments flooded in from their circle, all laughing, congratulating them. There's more, Nicole said grimly. Diana's foundation is hosting a fundraiser next week for family values. The hypocrisy made me sick. On another monitor, the footage replayed me exiting the bathroom, clearly pregnant, as their SUV sped away. Their laughter was audible. Barbara shook her head. They're not people. They're monsters. Another pain jabbed through my stomach. Barbara grabbed my hand. Sweetheart, are you contracting? Probably Braxton Hicks, I replied. But another sharper pang had me gasping. Tom was already dialing emergency services. We're not taking chances. The hospital's 40 minutes out. Right then, a news van pulled in. The reporter, Jennifer Parker, saw my state and didn't hesitate. We're getting you to the hospital. We'll film there. This isn't just about being left behind. It's about endangering a pregnant woman. As we drove, contractions hit harder. Jennifer held my hand. Doctors will take care of you. We'll make sure everyone knows who the Wilsons really are. Looking out at the gathering media, I understood this was now much bigger than me. Sometimes the worst moments in our lives ignite a reckoning